We're taking a look here at organizational policies, and they allow you to apply constraints across your entire resource hierarchy. If you know org policies from AWS, it's very, very similar. I can't remember what Azure has. But one thing I want to make clear is that when you are distinguishing these from your IAM roles, IAM lets you focus on who has access. Org policies lets you focus on what has access. Now, the interesting part is that they don't call org policies policies, they call them constraints, which is confusing. But the idea is that when you want to create an organizational policy, you're going to create a constraint. And organizational policies is really the organizational policy service that allows you to create constraints. Whoever named this stuff over Google, I wonder if you're still there, because it is really confusing. But the idea here is that when you create a constraint, you need to apply an enforcement. So within your constraint, you are now creating enforcement within it. Again, I don't know why they just didn't not have this level of enforcement. It's called a constraint. But within that, you'll need to have the following. You need to define the resource type. So that's going to be what resource you can apply to the constraint. I believe you can choose multiple resource types, but I've only ever chosen one. You have the enforcement method. So this is when it should be applied on create or update. There are some other ones like based on tags, but usually on create and update are the options that you can choose. Not necessarily both, but one or the other. Then we need to create a condition using CEL expression. I really dislike CEL, but it's something that you do have to learn when utilizing Google. But it's its own little logical language that you can write in YAML or I guess JSON, but I've only ever used it in YAML. Then you need to choose whether you want to allow or deny the action. And there are two types of constraints. We have managed, created by GCP, and then custom created by you. And here's an example of me creating a constraint. In fact, I actually failed at creating this correctly because I'm going to tell you it's just really hard to make organizational policies and be very clear on what you can do. You can apparently do dry runs and there's ways to evaluate them, but honestly, I find org policies very difficult to set in GCP. So if you do find it confusing or frustrating, understand that that is normal for these, but they are very powerful if you can get them to work. And so the example down below is I wanted to create a constraint only for a VM in Canada. You can see right now its enforcement state is inactive, meaning it's not being applied. Let's take a look at an example. So I pulled this from the docs because, again, my examples don't always work correctly. But here we can see that there's the name. We have that resource type. And here you can see it's for node pool. We have the method type. So apparently you can include both create and update. Though in the console, it makes it seem like you only select one or the other. So I suppose you can select more there. Then your condition itself. So this you do have to do quite a bit of research to try to find it out. In the documentation, they don't really make it easy to figure out like what you can apply to different resources. Each resource is a little bit different in terms of what is being set there. And it's very hard. You have to play around with G-Cloud and try to find it out or find existing examples. LLMs are going to lie to you. They're just going to tell you nonsensical things because, again, if there's no docs, then LLMs are just going to make things up, and it's hard to find. So you can see the action type is allow. There's a display name, a description. Pretty straightforward, but understand that creating those conditions can be a bit of a headache. You will see CEL appear in other places, so it's not just in org policies, but we will be touching CEL throughout this course. Let's talk about how you change the hierarchy evaluation by setting the policy source. So here's a diagram, and they kind of try to explain in the docs based on like different colors and here from different things. But really, changing the hierarchy evaluation is called policy source. They don't mention this in the docs, but it's definitely there in the UI, and it's clearly tied to this specific thing. But there are three options we can choose. We have inherent parent policy, so follow the policy that the folder or org above it is using, or Google defined default if no parent exists. We have Google managed default, so follow the default policy set by Google. Override parent policy. So policy includes rules from the parent folder or replaces the parent policy entirely, okay? Now, once you create your policy, it doesn't necessarily take effect until you create a rule. So now you have rules, and basically rule is it on or is it off? Why don't they put this under the enforcement section? I don't know. You can add a condition, but for the most part, you'll do that. And again, these are frustrating. It's hard to tell when they're working. So, just understand the nature of them. But if you know AWS organization policies, then you have an idea what these are. But there you go. Okay.